exclusive track owner production.
Welcome to There's Always Hope radio broadcast with Helen Blocker Adams, a weekly 15-minute commentary that addresses social issues challenging and impacting the fabric of our lives each day. Straight talk on the issues, transforming people and communities. Helen is on a mission from God to energize people to make a difference in their own lives and the lives of others. So now, join Helen for today's There's Always Hope radio broadcast.
Doesn't have to be. Remember Rodney Dangerfield and his famous "I can't get no respect"? I personally do not believe this disease gets the respect it deserves, and today's commentary is designed to inform, educate, and empower you on how serious this illness really is. Hello and welcome to There's Always Hope radio broadcast. I'm your host, Helen Blocker Adams. The month of October recognizes a health concern very prevalent and known worldwide. National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is celebrating 25 years of awareness, education, and empowerment. And of course, their signature color, pink, gets the attention of folks all over the world. Even looking at my status updates on my Facebook page from people, there's much chatter about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and rightly so. We don't want to take anything away from that effort. Now, the month of October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The first thing that comes to someone's thought process when you think of domestic violence is a man beating up on a woman or a child or both. Now, that is a sight none of us wishes to see. It's hurtful, it's dangerous, and it's not acceptable, period. Now, you'll note that when someone has cancer or has been told they have cancer and is going through treatments, you can actually see the results. I mean, you could see the loss of hair, the slowness of their walk, and, so many other things that's really visible. And certainly too black and blue and swollen eyes and bruises on the arms and neck of a woman that's a victim of domestic violence is clearly a picture that is as clear as day. But there is an illness that you can't really see. Not really, but the illness is there. But it's not as visible as some other diseases. Now, I am definitely in support of education, awareness, research, and cure for breast cancer. And I surely do not believe in domestic violence. I am also concerned, though, about another illness that is oftentimes under the radar, but is a grave and chronic health issue. That issue is mental illness. The month of October is also Mental Illness Month. Now, I realize that a lot of people do not know that, but it is. So let's chat about mental illness, shall we? What is mental illness? Now, I'm going to share with you some facts from the National Alliance on Mental Illness from their website, also known as NAMI. So if you hear me say NAMI throughout today's commentary, that's what I'm talking about, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Now, in the past, the subject of mental illness was surrounded with mystery and fear. Today, there has been tremendous progress in the understanding and especially in the ability to offer effective treatments. However, questions about mental illness often go unanswered and stand in the way of people receiving help. So many people make fun of someone who has challenges, who's having a tough time. I mean, when was the last time someone joked about hearing that a loved one had cancer or was a victim of domestic violence? No, we're horrified by the news. We're angry. We want to cry out to God and ask why. But then on the other hand, when someone expresses they are depressed, they're having a hard time coping, they feel they need to talk to someone to see if they can get help, that person oftentimes gets talked about, laughed at, ridiculed. Folks, It's not funny. Mental illnesses are medical conditions that disrupt a person's thinking, feeling, mood, ability to relate to others, and daily functioning. Just as diabetes, for example, is a disorder of the pancreas, mental illnesses are medical conditions that often result in a diminished capacity for coping with the ordinary demands of life. Serious mental illnesses include major depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and borderline personality disorder. Now, we've been hearing a lot lately about post-traumatic stress disorder as it relates to the military and the wars going on. The good news about mental illness is that recovery is possible. That is good news. Mental illnesses can affect persons of any age, race, religion, or income. But I want to get a little personal here. Did you know that only 1/3 of Americans with a mental illness or a mental health problem get the care that they need? And getting even a little bit more personal, sadly, the percentage of African Americans receiving needed care is only half that of non-Hispanic whites. One study reported that nearly 60% of older African Americans were not receiving needed mental health services, and currently, suicide rates among young Black men are as high as those of young white men, and those numbers are increasing. Overall, African Americans are overrepresented in the high need populations that are particularly at risk for mental illnesses, but not, I repeat, not getting the help they need. Blacks make up about 40% of the homeless population. Nearly half of all prisoners in state and federal jurisdictions and almost 40% of juveniles in legal custody are African Americans. African American children and youth constitute about 45% of the children in public foster care, child welfare system, and more than half of all children waiting to be adopted. Children in foster care and the child welfare system. African Americans of all ages are more likely to be victims of serious violent crime than are non-Hispanic whites. One study reported that over 25% of African American youth exposed to violence met diagnostic criteria for post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I know I'm giving a lot of facts and figures here, but see, this commentary, you can save it, listen to it more than once, because this is important stuff, folks. Did a little bit more research, and there's a woman named Dr. Tanya Hucks Bradshaw. She is a contributing writer for blackdoctors.org, and she responded to a question that I think is very pertinent to my commentary today. So why aren't more African Americans getting the mental health care that they need? Today, there are so many people in the Black community that suffer from some form of mental illness, yet our community, the Black community, is one of the largest groups to not seek treatment for their condition. Perhaps there are several reasons for this. And so the question was asked to Dr. Tanya Hucks Bradshaw. Here was her response. One of the reasons why I believe, this is according to Dr. Bradshaw, one of the reasons why I believe there is still such a strong and pervasive stigma about mental illness within the Black community is from the lack of knowledge about mental illness and the impact that mental illness often has on physical well-being. That's one of the reasons that I have such a passion about mental illness and mental wellness and why I'm doing this commentary. For example, depression has been associated with suppressed immune system functioning due to chronic inflammation as a result of stress. In fact, many providers view some mental illnesses as medical illness because of the impact on the body. Here's a little bit further what Dr. Bradshaw had to say. Another reason that African Americans may be wary of mental illness awareness and treatment is related to past treatment from the medical community, such as the Tuskegee experiment. Unfortunately, history has shown that the medical community has not always had the best interests of African Americans and other minority groups in mind. So as a result, persons within minority communities may be less likely to receive help from medical providers, especially when it comes to mental health. Okay, and that's a shame. That's a shame. But we've got to do better. We've got to do better. Let's chat now for a few moments about what mental illness is not. Okay, mental illnesses are not the result of personal weakness, lack of character, or poor upbringing. Mental illnesses are treatable. Most people diagnosed with a serious mental illness can experience relief from their symptoms by actively participating in an individual treatment plan. In addition to medical treatment, psychosocial treatment such as cognitive behavioral therapy, interpersonal therapy, peer support groups, community services, and others can assist with recovery. Okay, the availability of transportation, diet, exercise, sleep, friends, and meaningful paid or volunteer activities contribute to overall health and wellness. There is an organization that I want to tell you about. It's called NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness. They were established in 1979. If you go to www.nami.org, tons and tons of information regarding mental health and mental wellness. They have been dedicated to improving the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Okay? For decades, NAMI has established itself as the most formidable grassroots mental health advocacy organization in the country. Check them out, www.nami.org. Now, I have a passion for the advocacy and awareness of mental health and mental wellness, and I hope today's program has been able to help you become more aware, okay? Hey, we're almost through with today's program. I would love for you to send me an email. Let me know what you think about these broadcasts. If you have a topic that you'd like for me to address over the coming weeks, I'd love to hear from you. Go to www.helenblockeradams.com. That's helenblockeradams.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you think. Listen, we're going to see you next week on the radio.
You have a dream to make an impact on your community, but you need help to make it happen. The Barner Group is an economic and community development firm specializing in providing strategic alternatives to public-private financing. They serve cities, counties, nonprofits, private businesses, and schools. Visit thebarnergroup.com. No matter where you are, they really can help your dreams come true. For more information, visit thebarnergroup.com.
It takes a special person and company to provide care that allows people in their golden years to live with dignity. Golden Rule Healthcare Agency provides companion care and personal care, even Alzheimer's care, dementia, and Parkinson's care. Visit their website at goldenrulehca.com. Licensed to do business in 8 states, they are ready to serve your needs, committed to providing quality and professional care. Services just like the Golden Rule, recently designated as a provider for home care services for employees of Savannah River Nuclear Solutions. Contact Golden Rule Healthcare Agency today.
This is an exclusive track owner production.
You have been listening to There's Always Hope radio broadcast with commentator Helen Blocker Adams. Brought to you by the Southeast Enterprise Institute and Golden Rule Healthcare Agency. If you have comments or would like more information, please visit helenblockeradams.com or visit her Facebook page, There's Always Hope radio broadcast. If you would like to support our efforts, you can make a contribution on our website. Thank you, and we will see you on the radio next time on There's Always Hope radio broadcast with Helen Blocker Adams.